All right, we are now live. Hi, I am Kira858, and today we're here for episode 16 of It's Our World. So thank you all for joining us. Once again, here at the Cookout, we always love to give love and support to different individuals in the community. Shout out different content creators, different channels that's out there. So perhaps you could take a look at their content and support them on their endeavors. Sringer in the chat. Thank you, Sringer, for coming by. What's up? How you doing? So first person we would like to give a shout out for is actually a D&D stream called the Black Dice Society. It's actually, some people may have most likely heard of it. It's definitely becoming a major hit on the D&D channel. It features big individuals like B. Dave Walters, Cypher of Tyr, Becca Scott, Neurological, I think was her name as well. DJ Knight is a all-star cast featuring the individuals in Ravenloft. It's a great show overall. The role playing is absolutely fantastic, and it starts actually right before Critical Role begins, from like 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Of course, I have to make the adjustments accordingly. So, nevertheless, it is a great show. I hope you all take a look at their content and support them on their endeavors. The next one we would like to give a shout out for is actually a show that comes on Wednesdays called Monster of the Week. It features a all Asian cast dedicated with Masood, Hello There Shu, who's from Kids on Bikes. It's also a fantastic show that has a great, like I said, has a great cast overall. Hello There Shu is a good friend of mine, so we definitely like to support them on their endeavors. So hopefully you could give that show a look. Again, it comes on the Roll20 channel on Wednesdays. I believe it starts at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And last, but certainly not least, as always, I'd like to give a shout out to a good friend of mine whose name is Rosebell Arts. Again, for those who don't know, she's a fantastic individual who does artwork. I first met her when she was playing The Plague Tale's Innocence. And eventually I discovered that she was an artist who featured more into the anime spiel. When I first met her, she was an affiliate, and as she continued to progress, she is now a full-blown partner, having a 10,000 followers celebration and a subscriber-thon that was absolutely incredible. Such a great experience, and she deserves all the success that she's currently reaching. So if you can, definitely go ahead and give Roseville Arts a follow and support them on their endeavors. So those are all the shout outs that we have for today. So now we're going to go ahead and start working with our cast members, my fellow friends. And we'll start first. First I would like to say one of our players is not able to join us for this session. She may be able to be back next week. We'll keep you up to date. Mimsy, of course, aka Serena. But like I said, we like to move forward. Mimsy, have a great time. So we'll start with our cast with our DM, Fell Flames. Like to talk a little bit about yourself, plug your socials, any projects that you're currently working on.
My name is Sacrifell Flames. I can be found on Twitter at ZHaloMusings. I tweet a lot about writing, so if you like writing, you should follow me. Next person.
Fantastic. Yeah, I have slightly level up. I now have commands for all of the players in chat. So of course, if you want to give him a follow, you just click on the link in chat and it will take you to his Twitter page. I think I have that set up for pretty much everybody here. So of course, next we have Ree. Ree, if you'd like to talk a little bit about yourself, plug your socials, any projects you're working on.
Hi, everyone. I am at Big Dude Ree on Twitter, where sometimes I will be posting tweets that can be funny, though no promises. And commonly, I am playing Ardris on Tuesdays, the Sweet Bean Wizard who is going to lead his classmates to studying really hard. And hopefully today will be an uneventful journey through the forest, and we'll make lots of friends.
I hope so too. We always, like I said, we got a tree. Ikara has tried to be friends with a Cheshire cat, it appears. So who knows how many more friends we can make along the way. Next, going down to the bottom, we have a good friend of mine. We have Nesra. Nesra, like to talk a little bit about yourself, any projects, and plug your socials.
Hey guys, I am not on video today because I'm recovering a little bit from a cold. But I'm Aaron, Wanderer Tex on Twitter and Discord. Point one not in the chat here. I'm the DM for River One Academy on Wednesdays my time, Tuesdays for the rest of the world. And I am expecting a super eventful, very dangerous, barely escaped by the skin of our teeth episode today.
Well, you know, that's two opposite ends of the spectrum, we shall see. And last but certainly not least, we have our good friends, Keelys, aka Adrian. Adrian, if you'd like to talk a little bit about yourself, of course, plug your socials and the projects that you're working on.
Hey guys, I'm Adrian, and you can find me here on Twitch as well at the Bear Pin, which is pinned with an H at the end of it. We also have a YouTube channel, and some of the people here are players in some of the games. So we have a Vampire the Masquerade game on Sundays, and on Tuesdays we have a Dungeons and Dragons game. And I'm super excited to be back this week after having a horrible cold. Looking forward to playing, guys.
Awesome. And of course, for yours truly, I am Kira858. I, of course, am here for It's Our World, also for the Tuesdays Riverwood Academy, which is, of course, associated with Magic School that Aaron DMs. Fantastic content. I would also like to mention that I am now a DICE affiliate associated with Die Hard Dice. And so with that, if you're interested in getting a fantastic dice set from Die Hard Dice called the Spring Equinox, you could go to Die Hard Dice and enter the discount code DRAWMAY. If you enter the discount code DRAWMAY, that will allow you to get 10% off of your dice purchase for that specific dice set. Not only that, but you could add that discounts to other discounts that's actually in place. And not only that, but when you make a purchase using that discount code, proceeds of that actually goes to yours truly, where I could be able to bring you more creative content. And best believe we got a major project coming along the way, hoping to come in starting from next month. So I'm, again, super looking forward to that. I'll just leave that in the window for now. But yeah, a couple of the individuals in the stream knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I cannot wait to bring that to you. In regards to other content, of course, I have my art streams that comes in on Mondays and Wednesdays. Hopefully I'll be able to bring that in either this week or next week, as well as working my own comic books, from Snowstorm Comics, so forth and so on. And yes, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. So with that said, we're now going to go ahead and bring you our intro for episode 16 of It's Our World. And we are now back. So with that said, Fell Flames, take it away.
Okay, welcome back to It's Our World. Where we last left off, you all were faced with a entity of some sort that seemed to be made out of water that has risen itself up from the river that passes underneath the bridge that it seems like you may need to cross, and formed itself up into this entity. Achilles is, of course, with you, as is Serena, though she is not present at the moment. And I need all of you to roll me perception checks.
All right, no worries. Let's see what we got.
The difficulty will be 15.
It's a 21 for Nubian.
16.
16 for Nezra, okay. Ikara?
Yeah, no, that would be a 3 from me.
Nope. Even though I'm high, that was only an 11.
Okay. So Nezra and Nuvian, you both see jumping down from one of the nearby trees what looks like some sort of black piece of cloth. Nuvian, your roll was high enough that you can make out that it is actually a hat of some sort. It has jumped down from a tree and attached itself to Serena.
This plane has a very odd obsession with hats, apparently.
Sorry, is she wearing 2 hats now, or is the same hat she had earlier?
Are you observing to see what's going on?
Yes.
It is a different hat. She's not wearing it. She seems rather disamused as the 2 hats appear to have each grown fists and appear to be using her head as a battleground.
Does it look like she's in any danger? Because if not, I'm just going to watch.
They are boxing each other. She does not appear to be in any danger, although she's unamused.
So, DM, just to clarify here, so there's a tree traveling with us. Is the tree still here?
Yeah, I'm on top of the tree.
Is our guy, Irana, still here, or what happened to him?
He is still riding on Nezra's armor, and someone within the party last episode had recognized that he was pretending to be asleep, but actually awake.
Yeah, it was me. We had a little bit of a conversation. He looks like a fox, and he's up on my shoulder.
Okay.
And Ikara is on top of Tree's shoulder as well. So he's, like 15, 18 feet high now. Just looking off to the distance.
So Achilles not noticing the boxing match and looking and Catherine busy looking at the water elemental on the bridge. It's probably gonna walk up slowly to the water elemental and give a little greeting bow. Good afternoon. Is this your bridge? We might be needing to cross here. Don't want to offend if that's all right.
It does not seem to react at all. Not like a head tilt of the head that seems to have formed itself. No blinking in the watery eyes. It's just staring at you.
He'll try the same thing again in Celestial, see if it makes any difference.
It doesn't. It just doesn't seem to react at all. Nor has it reacted to any of the stuff happening behind you, whatever that might be.
And if I tentatively put a foot on the bridge?
Doesn't react.
Okay, well, if it's not going to bother you, I suppose, and turning around to look he doesn't really need to do that, but he will still turn his head so the rest can hear him better. So I don't think our fellow here is going to bother us at all.
I'm going to turn to Nubian and be like, 5 copper on the new hat?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. I don't think there's copper on either of that.
Oh, no, sorry. It was a bet on which hat was going to win.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like maybe at some point I should do something, but she looks only mildly annoyed. It's not hurting her, right?
It doesn't seem to be a problem at the moment, so I see no reason to disrupt the hats.
Which hat do you think is going to win?
I'll take the other one to be counter to you, I suppose.
Nice.
It appears that as you all are watching over the next 10 seconds or so, Achilles, you now notice what seems to have absorbed them is a boxing match between 2 hats. The newcomer does seem to win the match, and you see it actually punches the other purple hat off of Serena's head, and then nestles itself on top of Serena's head, and then extends itself out to be about 1.5 feet tall top hat.
We need fan art. We need fan art of that. I'm just saying. Serena in the top hat. It sounds awesome.
Does the other hat look like the one that's now off? Does it look like damaged? Does it look sad? Does it look as if it's in need of some assistance?
Bro, dumb question. Can you give me a medicine check?
Sure, I think I'm proficient in that. Hold on.
Moving hands over the coin.
Oh, I'm not proficient in that. All right, but we'll give a medicine check. I'm not a haberdasher or whatever, a hattier, whatever the word for that thing is. There was a 6.
It's kind of odd. You don't really know what to make of it. It's just kind of lying there, which is odd because you've seen it previously jump onto the heads of your companion. Hey, Nezra.
Yes.
Do you put the coins from Nubian into your coin pouch?
Well, shit. Yeah, I do.
Roll me a perception check.
All right. Natural 20 for 25.
Nice.
Very nice. You see, as you kind of like glance down, a few moments after you've put the coins in, you just happen to be glanced down at your coin pouch, and you notice that one coin has already grown arms and legs and climbed its way out and appears to be trying to help the other copper coins to climb out.
Oh, that's adorable. Is it just the copper, or is it all 3 of my gold and my other silver?
It looks like it's just the copper coins that were handed over to you.
Okay. One second. I will help you. One second. And I'm gonna like kind of set down the pouch on the ground and then work on opening like the drawstrings so that it's easier for them to get out on their own.
Okay. They all climb out, and can you roll me one more perception check?
Yes,
Or actually, what is your passive perception?
Let me double check. It should be 15, right? Yeah, 15.
Okay. You hear a very, very tiny voice, like what you would maybe expect an anthropomorphized like mouse to sound like. That's just like, "Hey, lady, thanks."
No worries. Anytime. Were you going somewhere? I could maybe get there faster.
Yep, we're going off into the woods.
The woods can be quite dangerous. Are you certain you want to go there alone?
We're not alone. We're together.
That is a fair point, and one that I probably should have seen coming. Well, safe travels, I guess. Just the 5 of you, no one else. Like the belt's good, the armor's good. You're not waiting for any friends.
Same to you. And strangely, you see that like all of them kind of put their hands together in like a 5-way high five, and a gold coin appears, and they like trampoline it up towards you, and then start marching single file off into the woods.
Oh, thank you. Be safe. I really hope I see them again.
That was adorable. The hat that is fallen on the ground, how big is it? Would it fit on Catherine's head?
It would fit on Catherine, but not onto Catherine's head.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, no. I thought. But he will say this aloud. You know, Catherine. I thought maybe I could. You might look nice in a little hat, but I think that's a wee bit too big for you, like. So, anyway, it's kind of dusty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, adorable coins and hat boxing matches aside, do you think we should cross this bridge?
Well, last time we need to get somewhere that we couldn't get to. We needed a hat. We have a hat, but I am a little bit leery about not keeping the other one. Did you pick it up?
Achilles will stop and pick it up. I mean, I can carry it with if you'd like. Use prestidigitation to clean off the dust.
Okay. And you pick it up?
Mm-hmm.
As you pick it up, it jumps onto your shoulder and tries to use that shoulder to vault itself up back on top of your head.
Sure.
Okay. Now you're wearing the purple hat, so it has the 1.5 tall black top hat.
Hold on, I need to make a hat note. I have a feeling this will become important later when we're trying to get back.
Well, what do you think, fellas? Does this match my color palette? Unfortunately, it's in that area that I'm not entirely sure what color it is.
Well, you like blue, right?
I do.
I think that you would like the color of this hat then.
Well, all right. I'll take your advice then. Are you
That
right
is
up there?
tautologically true.
Now Achilles cannot see it, but everyone else can see that as she says, "I like blue," the hat turns a like neutral sort of mid-tone blue color.
Oh goodness. Achilles, do you also like yellow?
I mean, yellow's okay. I don't think it really matches with, my skin tone, but yellow's a lovely color. It's more of my sister's color, to be honest, but it's beautiful.
Does the hat change?
Which hat are you asking about?
I am asking about the one on Achilles' head, as he says he also likes yellow. I'm just curious if it also changes.
That one does not change.
Okay.
This is a very strange.
I guess I'm not looking at the other one, so I wouldn't know.
It has a certain
Okay.
whimsy to it, I'd say.
Bridge, water elemental. What language do water elementals speak?
Well, I tried introducing myself in Common and Celestial, and our fella didn't seem to react. Doesn't seem to mind us getting on the bridge, so I think maybe it just...
Yeah, there's just...
Aye.
Wait, let's Serena go first. Last time we had to go past the place, we needed a hat to get there. Now we have a new hat. Maybe that's how we get across.
Perhaps we should then use the blue hat, as water is also blue.
Okay, both hats should be in the front.
This is about the moment you notice that yellow stars have begun to develop on Serena's top hat.
Well, that's
It was about
lovely.
that time I noticed. And it just wasn't a hat at all.
It's very lovely. You are a very good-looking hat.
Oh my god, it's not a hat! It's a dragon! No, sorry.
You're a very good-looking dragon in the form of a hat. Thank you.
Well, lead the way.
Yes.
Achilles will
I
lead
just
the
think
way.
that some politeness will help.
And whom is going first, Serena or Achilles?
Achilles will go first.
Okay. As you all watch Achilles going first, slightly ahead of everyone else, he walks up to the water elemental, no problem. Do you pass him?
Yeah.
Or her, it? Okay. As Achilles passes by the water elemental, he disappears from view.
This is
Okay.
This is becoming a thing.
All right. Okay. Yes, it makes me think of that door in the city.
Ikara will look
I'm
up
not going to
towards-
let a blind man wander by himself.
Ikara looks up at Tree. It says, Tree, do you know what happened?
Well, I suppose I have a guess.
What's the guess?
He was probably waterboarded.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, it's what happens when you're on some water and you take a board and you're standing on the board and you go across the water on the board. Waterboarded.
So he disappeared and then waterboarded. Okay.
Yep.
I guess that's something we need to do.
Tree, are you able to come with us? I'm not directly next to them. I'm looking at the size of the bridge and the size of Tree. Can Tree come with us?
Oh, probably.
Awesome. Have you come this way before?
Well, I'm not sure, but I've been waterboarded.
What?
Knew we just
What?
walked across the bridge.
I've been waterboarded. It's like a.
I'm incredibly sorry for your experience.
Why is it sorry? He said waterboard is when you kind of like not surf. Go on top of a board and you swim? It seems like.
Board swimming. You went board swimming.
Yes, waterboarded.
Okay. Ikara, we should keep going. I don't like the idea of us getting separated.
Okay, let's go, Tree. He kind of like points his fingers off towards the distance where he assumes Achilles kind of went or teleported to.
Okay. You all pass through?
Mm-hmm.
I went to go directly behind Serena.
Okay. You all have the strange sensation of almost like you're being pushed from behind, and then you're standing on this board, which is not actually shaped like a surfboard. It's more like a 4x6 foot board, of just like a plank. And something is propelling you forward while you're on this board, which seems to be outside of your control. And then I need all of you to make me a strength saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Why does it have to be strange? I'm not good at that one.
Okay.
18?
I think my 9 is pretty representative.
$13.
9, 13,
Not rolling
Dirty
very well today.
dirty 20.
dirty 20.
How is it that the fighter who has proficiency in strength saving throws sucked this one?
Monks get them too. We get strength and dexterity.
I think you might have stolen the Kellen luck. Potentially.
I think I've got the DM dice curse when I don't roll well when I'm playing for myself, but when I'm playing NPCs and shit, then I roll out of the park.
Nuvian, what you got?
18.
Okay. So Nuvian and Ikara, you both watch as all of the people who were not born with the heritage of dragons in their blood are unable to withstand a current which is pulling them deeper out to sea. Currently, you guys were all kind of gliding along pretty close to the shoreline. They're all being pulled out to sea.
Ooh. Is there any way to like reach them or grab them or somehow pull them towards this direction?
Do you want to try to follow and pull them back?
Yeah, pull them back. Yeah.
Okay.
Nuvian would go for Achilles.
You go for Achilles, okay. And who's Ikara going for?
I would go for Nezra.
Okay. Make me strength checks or athletics. Or I'll even take acrobatics in this case.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Could I use my telekinetic movement to hold onto the board?
So you're being pulled still on the board.
Yeah, could I use the telekinesis to physically hold him to the board?
Your board or someone else's?
Oh, so we're not all on one board. My board, I guess.
You each had your own board.
Okay, my board.
You don't seem to be having trouble staying on it. I don't want you spending unnecessary resources. You can if you'd like to, is what I'm saying, but you don't seem to be having trouble staying on your board. Your board is just being pulled out to sea.
The board is being pulled out to sea.
Yeah, with you on it. You're like stuck to it. Your feet are firmly planted on it. But it
then
got hit by a current.
In that case, can I use the telekinetic movement? If one of my friends' boards are going in a good direction or within 30 feet of me, could I hitch a ride, bicycler in a car style with my telekinesis onto one of their boards?
Yeah, who do you want to do? Ikara or Nuvian?
Nuvian?
Okay.
Because I get one for free, and then the others I have to expend dice for. But this one will be my free one.
Got it. Nuvian, Ikara, what you get?
Oh, 16. Acrobatics.
Okay. So Nuvian, Achilles manages to, but with your help, he manages to stay on his own board, and use the telekinetic power to right his direction. Ikara, you just sort of grab and twist Nezra off of her board, which is going out to sea, and just put her with you on your board.
Could I also, now that I'm righted, use telekinesis again to grab Serena?
Expending
one of my dice, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're all there. But Achilles has righted her. And so you all are sailing. Go ahead.
I am incredibly impressed at how quickly you've picked up this whole board swimming thing. It is... how did you even... it doesn't matter. Let's get on to solid ground again, please.
You all are pulled along, staying close to the shoreline this time, when all of a sudden a current, a stronger one this time, shipwrecks all of you. It pushes all of your boards, even through the strength of the telekinetic forces, into land. They all just kind of hit the shelf there. Everyone stays on their feet. No one gets knocked down or anything. But you're now on the shoreline, shoved there by a current.
That was pleasant.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of waterboarding before. That's actually quite nice.
Mm-hmm. He did not seem to have trouble staying on his waterboard, and you're watching as he balances with one of his tree feet on the 4x6 board, and he's kind of just see, waterboarding is fun. Now comes the not so fun part. You all watch as in the center of you, there is a giant rabbit that comes leaping from somewhere in the sky, lands in the center of all of you, and it starts to dig.
Well, I think somebody's in a hurry.
Hello.
Hello.
Common or Sylvan?
Do what?
Was that hello in Common or Sylvan?
Fine.
What are you doing?
In the span of your question, it's dug like 3 feet into the ground. It's going super, super fast.
Wow.
Dig. Make an entrance.
Do you need help?
Entrance to what?
I don't think so.
Anyone who wants to remain on land, roll me a dexterity check.
Okay.
One of these,
Hey,
one of
check
these
or
have
throw?
worked for me today.
Check.
Gotcha.
What dear? It
Thank
continues.
you.
A 17?
Natural 20.
17?
You know, I have the same modifier on my dex checks as I have on my strength types, which is 0. I got a 13.
Perfect. So I rolled a natural 18, so that would be a 23? Yeah, 23.
Okay. And Nubian?
17?
Okay. Achilles and Ikara, you watch as Nezra and Nubian begin being pulled down by the sinkhole rabbit hole that is created as this thing is furiously digging like a mole.
I'm going to telekinetically grab Nezra by the scruff and pull her back.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
going
not by
to
the scruff, by her belt, more likely. I don't want to pull her neck off.
I'm going to try to grab Nubian and see if I can pull him up as well.
You can try. If you fail, you're going to fall in as well, just so you know.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I'm not going to leave him behind, my brother, but
Can I take out a rope and lasso it? Rope.
To who?
Take out a rope. Yeah,
Or what?
to any of them. To any of them. The tree. Is there anything around? I don't know what the beach is like.
Yeah, there's some trees on the shoreline. It's like probably 40 or 50 feet of sand, and then you start hitting grass vegetation, and some trees are in that area.
And I tie the rope around the dagger and then throw the dagger into a tree. Would that be allowable?
You can try.
All right, what's the roll for that?
Go ahead and make me a dagger attack roll.
What is the dagger attack roll? Jeez, hold on 1 second. Don't use weapons.
you
are the weapon.
Don't know how you attack with weapons. All right, here we go. 19.
19.
Mhm.
Okay. Roll damage on the dagger, please.
7.
You are currently hanging from the rope, and you have not fallen in. It's not easy. Take
I could use a hand.
take 5 bludgeoning damage from the sands rolling around you at the moment. The longer you stay in there, the more the sand is going to keep hitting you.
Oh yeah. Ikara was trying to see if he could pull him up from the whirlpool.
Okay. Go ahead and get. Yeah.
Go on, bro.
Go ahead and give me a strength check. What were you saying, Achilles?
I would say that that soft golden light of Achilles' telekinetic force is around Nezra's waist and pulling her back. As long as she's within 30 feet, I could do that.
Can I use an
If she wants to resist, she can, but I don't know if she wants to resist right now.
Make me a.
No, pretty happy.
Make me a. Is it intelligence? Is that the basis for your telekinetic abilities? Make me an
Yes,
intelligence
indeed.
check.
Could I use athletics for the pull? Or would just straight check?
You can use athletics. You have efficiency.
Yes.
Question. Seeing as I am telekinetic by nature, can I add my proficiency?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, in that case, our proficiency now is +3, right? So in that case, 16.
Seems like you've got a hold of her, but she's still being pulled in like bit by bit. You're like having to actively fight something. You're losing just a little bit.
I rolled.
Nezra, like, I've got you for a minute, but maybe try to pull yourself out as well.
And what did you get, Ikar?
22.
To pull Nuvian out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. You are winning the fight. Something is still trying to pull him in, but you're currently winning, and by a decent amount. You're probably pulling him like 5 feet per round, like 5 feet per 6 seconds.
Yeah, there's definitely a draconic roar that he's kind of unleashes as you can see like his mini muscles strain as he's pulling against this whirlpool. And he's just like stretching in, like his tail digging deep into the sand, and he's trying to bring his brother out of that whirlpool.
I would like to turn to Uranus, who is still on my shoulders. It'd be like, so, can I expect a little bit of help here? This feels like part of the text of our agreement, is that I would not die. You know, you were going to do the whole guiding thing.
When you say do the whole guiding thing, Uranus jumps off your shoulder and into the whirlpool.
Into the whirlpool?
Into the whirlpool. Like
Hey,
through the center of it where the rabbit had dug, he just...
Achilles, you can let go now. Thank you.
Would you, do you mean...
Arana says we go this way.
Are you sure? You know what? I trust you. All right.
Thank you.
I will let go and I will swan dive after her.
So I go into the whirlpool on purpose this time.
I'm presuming
Achilles and... Good?
Did we hear that as well, or were we too in the moment to notice that we were supposed to go in?
Roll me a perception check. Or what's your passive?
17.
Yeah, you hear that.
Okay.
You just because you have sharp hearing, you're able to hear it over the sound of yourself roaring in displeasure. But yeah, no, you hear that.
Hey, he looks over to Nuvi. He's like, Nuvi, we have to go inside.
Nuvi just goes.
And then what you see is that he's going to try to see if he can pull the rope because he knows the rope was stuck in somewhere. And he doesn't want his brother to lose the rope. So he's going to see if he can be able to regain the rope. And then if he's able to dive into the whirlpool as well.
Okay. Make an unarmed attack.
Oh, okay. So that's just my standard, which is a +8. Oh, +7. Okay, so that's 17.
Okay, now roll damage, please.
That's a D6 this time. Do I have to choose the elemental, or is it just straight?
It's just straight damage.
Okay, cool. Then it'll be 9 points.
Okay. You are able to yank the dagger out. It was like he dealt 7 damage. You needed to deal equal or more to pull it out.
Gotcha.
That's what I was doing, just so you know. But yeah, you're able to yank it out, and you now are falling in with a 50-foot length of rope attached to a dagger.
Okay. So yeah, he pretty much leaps in.
You all come into a room with a table made out of some kind of wood that looks like it's pink. And there are chairs. Each of the chairs looks like they're made out of some sort of silver metallic sort of metal, very high shine sort of silver. These chairs are all at the table. You all come in and land on top of this pink table that you are all in the sort of center of now. The table itself is probably like a 30-foot radius, 60-foot diameter, so it's very large with all of these chairs around it. You seem to be in some sort of underground room with like a sort of brown or like a soft red kind of clay dirt to it around you. And on the other side of the room, there is a desk that looks like it's made out of the same kind of metal. And there is what appears to be a turtle person sitting at it.
When you say turtle person, do you mean turtle or do you mean like a turtle?
A turtle, yeah, it is a turtle.
Okay.
If Nezra is familiar with that.
Maybe, maybe not. But I'm just asking about the level of humanoidness.
Yeah, high humanoidness.
It's Donatello.
So we hit the table. I'm just like, ow.
Mm-hmm.
When you say it's 60 feet diameter, is it a circular table?
Yeah, no, it is, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna roll off to the whatever the closest end is. Get my feet underneath me and get off the table.
That was rather dusty.
Yes.
Hello. Have a seat. You're late for wine and cheese. He pulls out a plate and starts slowly about 5 seconds between every step. This turtle is moving closer to you guys now.
You knew we were coming?
Well, of course. Didn't you meet the water?
He nods. You're friends with him? With him?
Oh, yeah. He's the welcoming committee.
I'm absolutely delighted to make your acquaintance.
You do. You can call me George.
George, it is a pleasure to meet you, George. It's just, do I see Arenas when I look around?
Do what?
Do I see Arenas?
Yeah. He's jumped back onto your armor.
Thank you, Arenas.
In the meantime of the conversation.
I mean, I don't want to be rude, so I want you to understand this comes with.
He comes over
honesty.
to you and offers you a tray that looks like it has some sort of like an orangish block on it. And there's a bunch of goblets and a bottle. And he's holding it up to you now.
Thank you. Should I take the entire tray?
Oh, yeah. Pass it around or you won't be able to see proper, like.
Well, now
Fair
that
enough.
sounds interesting.
Yeah, okay. We're here and we're doing this. I'll take a bit of the orange block and whichever goblet suits me the best.
Okay.
Or whatever's in the bottle into the goblet and then pass the rest of the tray on to not Ikara. Whoever happens to be nearest me that is not Ikara.
Achilles has climbed off the table and sat in the chair. I'm Achilles, by the way. Nice to meet you.
You do. I'm George.
It's lovely to meet you, George. Isn't it, Catherine?
Nezra.
Yes.
What do you think
Zach?
Nezra's favorite food would be?
Ooh, good question. Like a really hearty stew that you could make easily, like on the road.
This goblet is like a red wine, like that's the consistency of the liquid, but it smells like a hearty stew, like game caught, fresh game, just cooked and brewed up in a big old metal pot, hearty stew.
Oh goodness. I thought it was wine, but it's stew. Yeah, I'm gonna take a sip. But I think that my innate curiosity would not allow me to not take the sip.
When you do, you start to see some things in the room, and I will DM them to you for now.
Okay.
What is everyone else doing?
Achilles will eat some of the cheese and have a swig of the wine.
Nubian will take the smallest portion of cheese that would be like physically possible, and it'd be like 3 drops of wine and like a not even like a thimble almost. And then eat it.
Does anybody pass him some cheese? I'm presuming y'all keep the wine away, but okay. So he'll.
Oh no, Achilles will definitely not keep the wine away. He will try and like sequester some wine to you.
Oh really?
Well, now that I realize it's soup, I have less of an objection.
But maybe not a full glass though. But, yeah.
Ikara. What's Ikara's favorite food?
Pineapples. He loves pineapples.
Bro, that ain't wine. That's pineapple juice.
Oh,
It's just dyed red, apparently.
yeah, this is pineapple juice. Oh yeah, this is fine. And he'll take a sip.
And when you drink it, it tastes like stew and it tastes like pineapple juice.
Ugh.
Wait, there's something
Individually, not.
Okay. I was like, what a mixture.
I would say if we're getting a psychic amalgamation of all of our favorite foods, it's probably gonna be real gross.
Probably would be. As you all consume this cheese and liquid, even in small amounts, you start to see what looks like candy canes and chocolate bars that have grown arms and legs that are climbing around the room and seem to be doing some sort of a dance in the middle of this room. And then you see 2 of them kind of bump into each other, and you see this brawl starts between like 15 different chocolate bars and 15 different candy canes as they start fighting with each other on the wall.
Oh dear. You should not. Excuse me. There's really no need to fight. It was an accident. I saw it.
Then you
Do
watch
they respond to
as
my voice?
an eagle. They do, but you watch as an eagle with green feathers swoops down from somewhere up in the rafters and starts eating one of the chocolate bars.
Oh, George, is like back home mushroom season's not for about 2 months. Is it different here in the Feywild?
Well, yeah, it's a little different. Always is. But the good news is the dragon will see you now. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh, wow. I didn't expect that. Okay. All right.
Nice.
Well played, Zach. Well played. So thank you all so much for coming by and taking a look at the stream. We're about to go on a break. If you like what you see here, you like to talk with the cast, the players here, we do have a Discord, which I'm going to place in chat below. From there, you could be able to, we have a non-spoiler as well as a spoiler section. Of course, fan art, as always, is a plus. And we also release our VODs, which comes on YouTube in that section as well. Of course, you can be able to meet the rest of the cast and the remaining members of the community. And it'll be absolutely fantastic. So we look forward to having you there. So with that said, we're going to take a break, and we should be back shortly for the second half of episode 16 of It's Our World. Bye-bye for now. All right, we are now back for the second half of episode 16 of Into Our World. With that said, Fell Flames, take it away.
Okay. Yeah. So where we last left off, you all heard from the turtle that you're ready to see the dragon now.
Ikara will be like, oh,
When you say see the dragon, do you mean like an audience?
Well, I suppose I mean both. First of all, you're ready for your audience, and second of all, you can actually see her now. So,
Do we need to go somewhere?
well, I suppose so.
okay.
So essentially, you're saying we need to chase the dragon right now.
Well, no, just go through that door. And as he points, where he points, you see a door appear that was not there previously.
Beautiful. Thank you, George. The stew was delicious. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna head through the door.
Yeah,
I knew Ian already through the door. I knew do that.
Ikara was a bit confused about her stew statement. He kind of thinks to himself, what was that? It was pineapple. But then he just he definitely pushes that to the side as he makes his way through the door to see this Fey Dragon.
Yeah, Achilles is following after. He'll take up the rear this time.
Yeah. As you all enter the room, the door closes behind you and seems to disappear from the wall. And you seem to be in an empty room that looks like a hollowed out tree, wherein the veins of the tree were specked with some sort of silver and gold kind of glitter almost. The tree is still with you.
Okay.
Hello? Is there anyone here?
There is no reply.
You'll say it again, but in Draconic.
In response, you hear a loud roar that kind of shakes the whole area that you're in. You can almost feel it inside your bones. You don't see anything.
We have come to speak with you. We may request your assistance with matters of grave importance. Also in Draconic.
The reply in Draconic is, very well, then I shall be here to listen to you. My name is Lucy. But you don't see anything yet.
Do you wish to hide your appearance from us?
No. Perhaps it hasn't fully kicked in yet.
How large is this room?
Probably about a 50-foot radius, 100 feet in diameter.
Is it that tall as well?
Taller.
The blind sense thing allows me to feel invisible stuff within 10 feet of me. I don't know if that's the... I have a weird question. So Achilles had the wine and the cheese. He's blind. He didn't give any to Catherine.
Yep.
So... what is he experiencing in terms of this food and cheese?
You don't see anything yet. But surprisingly, you were able to see all the strange sights in the previous room.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, I haven't quite started learning Draconic from our friends here. Are you able to speak in common at all? Or,
In Draconic, the same voice says, I'm forbidden from using the common tongue, although I am capable of speaking it.
What did she say, Phyllis?
It appears that they are forbidden from speaking common. In Draconic, he will say, forbidden by whom?
Why, the Archfey, of course.
In common. Apparently it is the doing of some sort of Archfey, or the Archfey.
It is
Draconic.
It is at that moment that you start to see the actual picture in front of you unfold. The wings are shaped like what you might have expected from sort of like the image of a fairy, but are much like longer and extended out and broadened where the wing meets the body. The color patterns are blue, purple, and yellow. Blue, purple, and yellow, they're sort of all intermixed together, almost like swirling together. And the face kind of resembles that of like a seahorse almost.
Is this Archfey entity a problem for you?
They cause some problems, yes, but a deal was struck a long time ago to ensure the sanctity and peace of the Feywilds, and my people have done their part to honor such an arrangement ever since. But you came here with some sort of a request. What is it that you would ask of me?
Yes, we have come because our brethren on the material world are in trouble. Dragonkind are being used like tools of war, slavery, and we seek aid in freeing them from their captors.
I was somewhat aware of this issue and would love to be of assistance to you. Unfortunately, I cannot leave the Feywild without the permission of the Archfey. And then you see as the fox on Nezra's shoulder jumps down, transforms itself into the shape of a man wearing a suit made out of purple leaves. He dusts himself off and says, well, now I suppose we'll be getting to the parts that you all were afraid of.
Excellent.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think we're really afraid of anything. It's just, you hear stories and such, so maybe expected rather than afraid.
Well, here's the trick. In order to get what you want, you need my permission.
And in order to get your permission, we need
Hmm. That depends. Would you rather have an easy deal, a moderately difficult deal, or a hard deal?
How about I make you a deal?
I'm listening.
I imagine that on occasion, folks like you might need some people to take care of some business for them elsewhere. If ye give us your permission for what my companions want here, I will agree to a pact with you to occasionally do things on your behalf.
Interesting. Strange that you would be the only one to speak up, though. Does no one else have something that they might offer me?
You have not made a request? We do not haggle like merchants. I work on exchanges. Request.
I'm quite curious as to your previously stated easy, intermediate, and difficult deals.
Mm-hmm. Did you have one
I'm
that you
interested
would
in all
like?
three. And then she's gonna stop and take a long look at Ikara for a little bit. I would want the most difficult one.
Excellent. The most stringent in terms of difficulty, but often the greatest in terms of reward. Wouldn't you agree?
I find that when people say that things are too difficult or of great difficulty, it generally shows what it is that they prize the most.
Well,
Our day's work bears the most fruit, as they say.
would you like to first hear what you'll be offering to me in exchange, or what you'll be gaining for such a difficult deal?
I think what is required first.
Well,
He's just explaining things slowly, but it is being explained.
between you and me, I think that amongst the court of the Archfey, they'd perform far better were power and decisions to be consolidated amongst one individual. I mean, this squabbling where we each fight to try to carve out our own slice of dream, what we all want. I mean, that can't go on forever. Surely you agree, right?
No interest in the courts of Archfey.
What you desire is power.
Well, I would say more like responsibility, because that's what comes along with power, of course. You see, what I want is to be responsible for all the denizens of the Feywild and to ensure their posterity for the future. I don't think that war breaking out is the best thing for them, and I could use some assistance establishing my regime, though it would, of course, be upon me to hang on to such a thing once it were established.
Something like that not be
Can I
earned
make-
through. But then should that not be earned through your own hand? It would be very odd to obtain such authority through the aid of outsiders, would it not?
Have you ever heard of a king that won a war without soldiers? Because if so, that sounds like a magnificent tale that I would love to hear.
I've been told stories, but that is besides the point. Have you heard of a king who is respected by his people if he is too weak to do what needs to be done himself?
Well, you seem to be quite wise, although I think, being that you are so wise, you should understand that oftentimes hanging on to power can be either more or less difficult than gaining it to begin with. In this case, I believe my power, and ergo such responsibility, will be easier to hold on to once it is established.
I have a question, like, it sounds as if you're wanting us to play it being assassins.
Assassin is a very, very uninteresting word to me. I would prefer to have soldiers.
And how do you know that the rest of the denizens of the Feywild, aside from the other Archfey, are, well, wanting to have the same thing that you want?
Well, I can hardly guess that it's what everyone wants, although, I mean, certainly not everyone knows what's best for them. I'm one of the Archfey. Who better to decide what's best for everyone else?
How would this affect them, though, is my question. I only know stories about your people. I can't say I know facts, but how do each of, I guess, people such as yourself, Archfey, affect everything else around them in this space?
Sorry, I'm answering a DM super quick.
Okay. War crimes shall commit.
He says, well, I suppose at the very least a sort of established consensus might be good for the people of the Feywild. I mean, as you can see, there's a bit of disagreement when it comes to the how the wild should exist, which can lead to some interesting consequences.
What are the other options?
I believe that was the difficult choice, correct? The hard one.
I believe so.
So you'd like the moderately difficult one?
Oh yeah, here talking. There's no reason not to hear all of the choices.
Well, you haven't even heard what you would be winning with such a difficult deal, and yet you prefer to move on in our conversation? Very well.
Yes.
I would like to hear the reward, please.
Well, until your battles are won and these dragons have been freed and the people that have enslaved them have gotten their comeuppance, Lucy will be allowed to attend to the material plane and assist you as she wishes.
And what happens after?
Furthermore, you, he looks at Nuvian, and you, he looks at Ikara, will be able to become a dragon for one day of your choosing in order to assist with this change. Why have one dragon join the battle when you could have 3?
What happens to Lucy afterwards?
She will be returned to the Feywild to do as she chooses, perhaps deciding to participate in the task that will befall you at that time, perhaps not. Here she has freedom, but she's contractually bound not to enter the material plane without the permission of an archfey.
What are the other options?
Well, in the moderately difficult deal, Lucy will be able to attend you under the same terms to assist with freeing the dragons who have been enslaved and giving comeuppance to those who deserve it. But you will afterwards come back to the Feywild to help me establish my power and serve me as my soldiers for 50 years.
50 years is not too terribly long.
I mean, I don't know about you, Philip, but I'd be in
Some
my
of us
70s
are
by that
human.
time.
Yes.
It's unfortunate for the humans, but it's fine for everyone else.
Sorry, Aranis, would there be 50 Feywild years or 50 external years?
Feywild years.
I'm sorry, how many years is 50 Feywild years? Is there a conversion chart for that?
Not precisely, but time moves about half as fast in the real world as it does here.
So what, a century or so? Not
Reverse
bad.
it.
25 years?
It would be about 25 years.
It's virtually no time at all.
But
It's just another journey of self-discovery.
under the terms of this deal, you would get one dragon, not 3.
And what is the third option?
Well, in the third option, Lucy can accompany you all under the same terms that we've previously established. I will dictate them again for you if you wish when the deal is struck. But you will only need to serve me entirely for one day of my choosing in the coming years.
The first two sound acceptable to me.
I'm gonna go ahead and summarize. In what he was calling the easy deal, Lucy will help you. You will serve him on one day of his choosing. In what he was calling the moderate deal, Lucy will be able to help you, and you will help him establish his regime, and then serve him afterwards for 50 years. Which is an explicitly worse deal than the difficult deal. In the difficult deal, you will just help him establish his regime and then be free for all of the coming years. And not only will Lucy be able to help you, but Ikara and Nuvian will also each get to become a dragon for a day of their choosing.
If we were to take the more difficult deal, I would like to add some caveats to that, if I may.
You may try. You're welcome to propose them, but I am just as likely to refuse as I am to accept.
All right. Well, as our mission in general is to get rid of slavery and unfair treatment in our own lands, none of us will participate in such events here either.
Very well.
And none of us would be participating in any forms of torture either.
Very well.
And should any surrender be proposed by one of your enemies that does not result in bloodshed, we would suggest that that be honored.
There is more than one way to skin a cat, although I have no idea why you would want to.
I would like to add an addendum as well.
You all are very picky.
Indeed, we appears that we are both in a position where we need the other one. I would like to request that this ability to become dragons for the more difficult option is a permanent one.
And this seems like a fair and even trade on the stipulations for you.
That and Lucy is free to do as she pleases once this agreement is settled.
That is already true, so it's rather easy.
That should be no problem.
I can guarantee that you will remain a dragon forever, although I cannot guarantee that you will like the outcome.
The ability to become a dragon is forever.
You mean a shape-shifting ability to switch back and forth between the two at times of your choosing?
Yes.
This is not possible under my current power.
But that does make things less interesting.
Were you to be interested in remaining one forever, that I could offer to you.
I feel like does Newton feel like he's being tricked or manipulated?
Roll an insight check.
Son of
Seems relatively straightforward for the moment. Kind of like he's straightforward in the sense where like there's an arc, but if you take the average of the arc, it's a straight path, you know?
I can
I would
pick
just-
the dragon.
Would just like to clarify on this deal. You're expecting us to...
God, I grow bored by the minute. Yes.
No, this is just a matter of timing. Do we defeat your enemies first, and then Lucy is free, or Lucy comes and help us, and then we return in the more difficult deal?
The order would be to your advantage, wherein you can solve your problem before returning to me in order to hold up your end of the bargain.
And once our end of the bargain is fulfilled, we go back to our lives. No servitude, no day of your choosing. It's just finished.
Correct. Were I to be honest with you, the middle deal is much worse because I just hate a person who chooses neutrality.
This explains a lot about how much you and Nuvian do not get along.
I will sweeten your pot a little bit there. I feel like if we are going to be doing any of this, an extra measure of additional power is warranted. My own personal 50 years of being your soldier for access to some of your power during our quest and during the 50 years of your service.
Interesting.
Not the others, just me.
Run that by me one more time. I think I like what you're saying. Just repeat what
I
you
thought we were getting bored.
Well,
I
your
just
friend
wanna
has decided to make it very interesting.
Indeed. Grant me access to some of your power while we are on this quest and during those 50 years of service after to you as your soldier. And potentially afterwards to keep, because why not? And yeah, I'll give you 50 years of being your soldier after we take care of your problem.
Let me make sure I understand you correctly. You would become a man of two masters, correct? In one world, but also working as my soldier in another. In both places, right? You would want to remain with your friends, but also, when called upon, would be willing to be my soldier as necessary. Do I understand this properly?
I think there's a bit of tweaking there. The soldiering part would come once we've completed our quest and need to fulfill our bargain, helping you establish your kingdom. From that point on, yes, I would be your soldier for those 50 years in the Feywild. But I would need access to some modicum of power from you to be able to make sure my friends are not being harmed during our quest.
This is agreeable to me.
I mean, all of this does hinge on the rest of the party accepting the more difficult option as well. But, as long as there's no slavery and torture involved, I'm, amenable to these deals.
It's fine with me as long as there's no slavery or torture as well. The dragon form is permanent and I get to choose the form of dragon.
You're still pushing him on being able to shapeshift permanently, even though he said it's not within his power?
No, just an actual dragon.
You want it to remain permanent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He says this can be done.
I'm just saying, getting around the continent's going to be so much easier when we can all fly in Nuvian for the rest of our adventuring days. It's going to be the easiest.
What's your party? 4 people and a dragon.
And a dragon monk.
Monk.
Stunning strike plus death.
He automatically stuns all of his enemies via the use of mortality. Well, I mean, I believe you're being genuine with your offer. It's possible, Nuvian, you may want to have a separate conversation with Lucy just to make sure that I feel like we're making a little bit of a deal on her behalf. But I mean, I'm not personally so interested in the whole acting as a soldier or whatever, but if the group decides that this is the best course of action, I will join. Provided that there is a firm end date.
You don't need to act as a soldier, though, if we take the difficult option. I will be the only one that will be doing that.
No, we would all have to come back in order to help him do the regime change.
Oh,
So
indeed.
that's the part where
We have to
and
do
then
that.
the 50 after that, yeah, that would be just you. But like, we'd have to come back for that.
Aye.
I mean, I'm just a little bit nervous about the whole. I feel very in over my head lately. I was just traveling the world, and now suddenly there are dragon riders and slavery and evil people and a resistance, and now we're in the Feywild, and we want to help a regime change there. It's very, it's a lot.
I'll be honest, I'm really confused. That's the reason why I haven't really said anything. I'm like, I don't understand all of this.
Well, I believe our good friend here wants help sort of consolidating a kingdom in the Feywild. And if we agree to help him dealing with the other Archfey rulers in potentially non-violent ways that do not include slavery and torture and all that kind of nasty stuff, then he will allow us to help, Lucy will be allowed to help us in the prime material on our quest, and both your brother and yourself will be able to turn to a dragon once, and I believe Nuvian might want to stay that way, and that's kind of it. And basically we get his help, and we have to do something, and we don't have to violate our principles.
Wait, so
I mean, I feel like the concept in and of itself is a bit of violation of my principles, but there is a clause
Wait,
saying no slavery, no torture.
wait, so in order to do this, we have to go towards other archfays? And what do we do with the other archfays?
Either get them to surrender, or if not, we might need to, unfortunately, kill them. But I believe we can all be fairly diplomatic when we need to be. But we don't need to do this until after we have freed the dragons back where we're from.
But again, this feels a little bit of an explicit moral choice, though, yes? Is this something that you're okay with doing?
I think that the laws of this land are very different than the laws of our one.
Because it is a different place, your morals have changed?
My morals are to assist my family and friends and to do no unwarranted harm. So that's why I said if we can talk things out with these other archfey and get them to surrender first, it's a much better option. But also, I really don't like what's going on back home. And I believe that my ideas of the good lie there. And our friend hasn't proven to be anything horrible. So I think we can do this with little bloodshed if we work our way carefully.
This is the price of saving the other dragons, and I see no problem with it. Not to mention, at least another additional dragon would strengthen our family back home. That would also solve, I believe the saying is 2 rocks and a bird or something like that. Seems
2 pigeons in a pie? No, that's not it.
I always heard that it's a bush in both hands.
A bush in both hands is worth 1 in the field. No, that's not it either.
It's worth 2 rocks.
Aye.
Ikara's going to make his way towards Lucy and says, Lucy, what do you want?
Uranus says, why, Achilles, Nezra, I do believe your time here is getting to you a bit. Lucy, as you come over, Ikara, what do you say?
Lucy, what do you want? Do you want to stay here? Or do you want to help? We never got to hear what you think.
I would like to help you. That's why Uranus brought you here, because he knew that I would want to. That's in Draconic, she responds to you.
Yeah, I was speaking Draconic as well, my apologies. And then he kind of turns towards the gentleman in the suit and say,
Well, who are these other archfays you have problems with?
There are 4. Geez, do you want the rundown on all of them now?
I don't want to hurt someone if I don't think that they don't deserve hurting.
Very well. Let's see. There is the Overlord of Trees, who I assume you're tangentially familiar with his people. He gestures at Tree. There is the Orange Jester. And there is the Queen of Night. And there is the Lady of the Lake.
And what is your title?
The Purple Prince.
So, what will you do once you have succeeded?
I will roll.
Will you will you seek to expand your kingdom further?
Outside of the Feywilds?
Indeed.
I have no interest in that.
Do I believe him?
Roll me another insight check. I know you've been leaning on those.
It's one of the things I'm good at.
Wait, I mean, he technically says he doesn't lie, which would break a contract.
19.
Yeah, he doesn't. But insight checks are still common to see if someone's trying to trick you, especially when it comes to the Fae, because they oftentimes try to dance around.
You can be explicitly truthful and very deceptive.
What did you roll?
19.
Yeah, you don't think he intends to expand his influence. It sounds like he wants to rule over the whole Feywild, but it seems like that's where it stops.
In Draconic, Nuvian will ask Lucy if they can trust him.
She responds in Draconic and says, he can be quite useful. Whether or not you can trust him is up to you. I would never tell someone what they should or should not trust.
Is his word reliable?
Often not.
Like this Fey person. Huh? What exactly do you want us to do? I imagine that, no offense to my companions here, we aren't exactly deciding the fates of kingdoms with our bare hands. Sure, there are more powerful people that exist.
Perhaps. But you also have a bit of a journey to go on, which I do believe will contribute to an increase in your strength. And there's no more powerful tool than the unexpected.
Well, you're betting on our future. Fair
and
enough.
I'm betting that you will be unanticipated.
Enough. Are we expected to fight for you until we die? And by that I mean, if it appears that your goal is going to fail, are we expected to continue to fight, or do we get to leave, retreat, so to speak?
If I no longer exist, then our deal will be null and void.
That does not completely answer my question.
Well, who can say that I have lost while I still draw breath?
I am sure in your long years you have seen many a king, due to their arrogance or pride, be unable to accept that they have lost, only to lead their remaining soldiers into certain doom.
If you believe that I'm on the other leg, then breaking a deal with me should warrant no fear in your hearts. Because if I am bound to lose or too busy dealing with other enemies, then you have nothing to fear from me or a broken deal.
What about the rest of you? What do you think?
I am for expediency, and that we have come here for a reason, and this serves our reason. So I'm for it.
I agree.
This is going to sound really weird. Can I make an insight check on myself? Or at least the...
Are you trying to access a
I am.
entity?
Yes.
Okay. Make an insight check.
Ezra doesn't even trust themselves anymore.
It's another 19.
Natural or
No, it's 11 plus 8 is
Stunning.
19.
roll with advantage.
Okay.
Let's see what you get.
Oh, that one is an actual 19 for a total of 27.
You get the feeling from deep inside your soul that in the current iteration of the deal, the person that I'm about to DM to you has the worst lot.
Okay.
But that for everyone else, it would be not so bad.
Ikaro will kind of step forward a bit and says, well, I would have liked to participate in this, especially if Lucy would like to help. But unfortunately, my circumstances does not end with the ending of the slavery with regards to the dragons. In my home, we are under siege against our rival clan, a Red Dragon clan. And so after this, I have to return and help my family fight against this threat. So I would like to participate, but I can't. My family comes first. The only reason why I'm not there now is because she told me that I should save the dragons here first. But after that, I'm going back home.
Unless our bargain could advance to completion of that as well, then helping you.
Let me get this straight. You would like me to wait some further amount of time before you begin holding up your end of the bargain and assisting me with establishing my regime so that you all can return with this young dragonling to eradicate a clan of red dragons entirely? After working hard to release other dragons from slavery on a different continent. That's just... oh, well, I suppose if that's what you want.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, we've always been at war with one another. So, eradication, I guess, not sure if that would come to pass, but I just know that they're currently attacking at the moment. And so I would like to return back home to help them when it is over.
And, young dragonling, who do you believe threw the first stone long, long ago?
Oh, Mom said the red dragon's dead.
Of course.
He kind of tilts his head at that. I don't think I have high insight, but maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you would catch that. I'll let it go for now. If you think you would catch it, then I'll roll an insight check. But he's not the super insightful type.
There's a lot of overstimulation going on for him right now, too.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't think that he would roll it, I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
I would like to open a mind link with Nuvian. Does it work?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything about the power that, like, indicates being disrupted by different planes. So.
Okay. And so I will mind link Nuvian and say, Nuvian, I'm a little concerned. I don't fully understand. There's so many different ways this deal is evolving. With I don't know, Achilles is doing this whole pact thing, and it's getting very complicated. But I'm concerned that whatever this whole become a dragon thing is, it's maybe you're too eager for the outcome. It doesn't seem like, I don't know, something seems more, maybe not even dangerous, just more dear, more expensive, more of a sacrifice. So because we are mind linked, you can respond.
I can respond. Okay. Is that your instinct, or has he said something to betray some sort of deceit?
No, I do not believe he is being deceptive. I think he's being truthful. But when you were talking about it, there was something he was quite eager to clarify what he could and couldn't do. And there is something about that is just, it's rubbing me the wrong way. You may want to reconsider.
Let's see. And then vocally, Nuvian will say, I'm sorry, I do have another question. Earlier, you said you cannot. Why can't you do what I requested the first time?
To allow you to shapeshift back and forth at any time of your choosing. Because while I have some capability to cause others to transform, to do so at your beck and call would be so inconvenient for me as to be insurmountable. Especially given that I cannot really guarantee how long you will live, given...
He pauses for a moment, remembering what he read in the scroll at the library, and I wish to amend my earlier request. I do not request to become some sort of dragon from you.
What would you ask of me instead?
I request the ability to make a request once the deed is done. I have a feeling, just like you are banking on our ability to grow stronger after our task, I have a feeling if this succeeds, you will be considerably stronger as well. If not for the fact that you could request the power from your subjects. So let us bet on each other's futures.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage. And you're getting the advantage because he really wants to say yes.
Oh boy, good thing that's with advantage, because that was a 1. 17 with advantage.
Very well. After my regime is established, I will grant you one thing that is within my capability. If I have the power, knowledge, influence, understanding, contacts required to grant whatever your request may be, I will do so. Otherwise, I will ask for a different request that is within my capabilities.
I hope you succeed.
So just for Aaron's clarification, Achilles has made a pact. Nuvian has made a bet. Ikara is talking about like the whole dragon scenario, and it seems to be currently in free fall.
Achilles made a pact. Nuvian made a bet. Ikara bought more time by adding on an additional task saying you all wanted to go deal with the red dragons. You, as of yet, have added no special stipulations.
That is true. I'm also wondering, has anything been requested of Serena?
No, aside from her overall participation in the deal. It sucks, but I just don't know how to work around the player not being present for this. Maybe she and I will work something out in the offline, but for now we just have to forge through as if she's willing to participate in the deal, but not adding any special give or take.
Is it possible for me to mind link with Uranus?
You may.
Okay, so I mind link with him.
I can see that you have not asked anything of me yet. He says when you establish the link before you've even got the opportunity to say anything.
Nice. Yes, well, I mean, I'm used to not requiring much because of my kind of nomadic lifestyle. There's not a lot that I really need.
Well, I certainly respect it. Typically, nothing comes for free, but if you swear to tell no one, I will give you a piece of advice for free.
I swear to tell no one.
Have you visited the tribal lands of the beast tribes? To the north of the area that we came from?
Not as of yet.
I think you perhaps should. You might find some light there.
Interesting. Do your people have like oral or written records?
I suppose there are oral records. I do not keep written records, although it's possible that one of the other Archfey might. Is there some information that you require?
I am interested of some matters of history.
What sort of history?
The very ancient. I don't know how much you would have access to this kind of information, but maybe if I must impose some sort of request, after you've succeeded, if I can have access to your histories, maybe that will be, I can find the information I'm looking for.
You are asking me if, were we successful, could you have access to a thing that may or may not exist?
Yes.
Excellent. Granted.
And I will stop the mind link.
While all that silent conversation is happening, Achilles is looking up at Lucy and he says, "It's really a pity I can't actually speak your language because I just want to say, my gosh, you're beautiful. The coloration on your wings, is quite breathtaking."
You watch as the woman, the Fey Dragon shifts into a woman, a blonde woman, who is wearing a dress of blue and purple. It's kind of like a off the shoulders kind of dress, otherwise strapless. And she just kind of reaches and, if you'll allow her, pats you on the head.
Yeah, he'll allow her.
What type of dragon is she? Rather, is she a dragon that is in the Feywild, or is she a separate type of dragon from the Feywild?
Are you asking like player to DM or in character?
Main character. But looking at it, like she doesn't look like a red dragon that is like happened to be in the Feywild, or does she look like something entirely different?
She looks like something entirely different.
Does Nuvian know what she is? That's fascinating.
Give me a history check.
History?
I feel like Nuven Akara, I feel like you've asked before, and like the best Akara could get was like, Mom told me it was a fairy tale, or that she didn't think it was real.
Yes.
Wait, no, you specifically right now can give me a straight intelligence check.
Ooh, good luck.
That's a 13.
You actually remember reading about them somewhere now, as you're standing in front of it, and you recognize the colors. It was a child's book that also led you somewhere else.
Oh.
The book that keeps on giving, man. Reading is the key. Literacy is power.
Are you talking about the lusty Argonian maiden again? I mean, we've all read that one a million times.
We have very different opinions on what is a child's book.
But she does not otherwise resemble any dragon that you've ever heard of.
Then in Draconic, he will say, I look forward to speaking with you once this business is settled.
And the same to you.
Right, well, are we done here?
I mean, I'm good.
It seems that we have made a decision.
Leave tonight or live and die this way, indeed.
Any regrets before it is signed in whatever people use to sign things? I don't know.
Sorry, to whom are you speaking, Nuvian?
Everyone.
No pins necessary. If the deal is struck, just say the deal is struck.
Do we all get a little tattoo that says no rag rates on our chest here?
No, unless you'd like one.
This is Adrian talking.
Achilles really quickly alters the deal to add a terrible tattoo.
The deal is struck, good sir.
Deal is
from
struck.
my end. No rag rates.
So I know that Nezra's waiting on Ikara.
Young dragonling, wanderer.
Wait, 1 second. Nezra? Can you
Alright.
talk to my mom from here?
Hypothetically, yes.
Could you ask her about this and see what she says? I just want to make sure it's okay with her.
Yo, that's going to be hard to fit into 25 words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know the limit. He doesn't know his.
Well,
That's about to pull out of the sword stuff.
well, the first 2 words are going to be, so listen.
Archfey pact when?
I swear I passed on your last message. This is only sort of related. I'm so sorry. Ah, shit, I ran out of words. Well, okay, here's the thing, Akara. If you would like me to ask your mother about her opinion, I will. But, I mean, the last time that I spoke with her, she seemed quite busy. And also, her primary issue was keeping you away from there. I mean, what will you do if your mother says, I don't know? Because I think that's the most likely answer.
No, I'm pretty sure she would tell me if she's okay with it or not. If she's not okay with it, then I won't do it. If she is okay with it, then I'll do it. If she says, I don't know, that would be really mere. Mom is pretty direct and pretty forward with her ideas. But if she says, I don't know, then I probably would just say, I can't do it right now until my mom says yes. Because I think this is something big.
Are you sure that you don't want to discuss this with Nuvia? Because, I mean, part of you going out into the world is making your own choices. Maybe you should have a discussion with your brother about what you think is the best choice. And then if you still don't know, I will send a message to your mother. But I really do think, especially with this kind of deal, it's important that you are making choices for yourself, not what other people are telling you to do.
Well, I
mean,
kind of. But
what do you think is the best idea? Like, if you had to make this decision all by yourself, what do you think you should choose?
All by myself? All by myself. And you see him like kind of. You gotta.
I cut it off. Hey, we get 3 seconds. We ain't want no copyright.
You're 3 seconds before Twitch takes us down. But you do see Akara kind of like looks to the side, now thinking about something he hasn't really taken into consideration before. Because, based upon his lineage and such, never really had to think about stuff for his own. So he kind of looks down and then looks at the others, then looks at Nezra and says, well, if I was by myself, I would want to know who will beat all of the Archfays first. See who they are and see if they're good people or not. If they're not good people, then I would be okay with wanting to bring them down because they're not good people. But if they seem to be good people who also you want to rule, then I don't want to take that away from them because then I would be an oppressor. I don't want to be an oppressor. But I'm not by myself. And then I have to make, that's just me. So I don't think we really have enough time to be able to meet everyone. So I'm not sure if we can even do that. So, I don't know. I feel like if I get my mom's permission, at least I could have a sense of confidence. Right? Because right now it's kind of...
Yes, I mean, I share some of your misgivings, but I think we're at the point we have to decide one way or the other. Mm-hmm. And our friends Achilles and your brother Nuvian have already decided for this.
I know. But yeah.
Can I turn to Aranis and ask, if Akara decides not to do this deal, is there any penalty towards him?
Oh, no, of course not. The issue is he waves his hand and a brick wall appears, and he waves his other hand at it and it just tumbles over.
that means.
I mean,
Add
I
all the
appreciate the
bricks.
attempt at allegory.
Without all the bricks together, there is no wall, there is no deal.
So, Ikara, if you say no, then there's no deal for anyone. I think you ought to discuss this with Nuvian. He can give you insights that I can't because I don't know a lot about you and your past.
I mean, I don't want to ruin things for others. If you guys, are you two okay? Are you guys want to do this?
Akara, this is a decision you have to make for yourself. You cannot rely on others to guide your way. This time, though I admit you are a bit younger than most of us when we were being sent out on our own, now is the time to begin to forge your own path. I cannot tell you what to do. I cannot tell you whether or not things will work out, regardless of the decision you choose, as that is life. You have to make the decision that you won't regret tomorrow or into the long, long future that you will have.
This is hard. Why could I just go?
This is why I do not like dealing with merchants.
And that even Ikara kind of gives like a small smile. I think he looks down and says, well, okay. In that case, I have to admit, I don't really feel right doing this unless I knew who the other people were. If I knew, if I could meet them and see that they were bad people, then I would be okay. But if they're not bad people, I don't think I will want to go through with this by myself. Just me. I mean, but I don't want to mess things up for you all. So if you all are wanting to go through it, I can.
Akara, if that is your decision, then that is your decision. Your opinion, your desires, and your will is just as valid as the rest of us. That is the decision. If that is what you are deciding for yourself, then that is your answer.
I'm sorry.
Well, lad, your brother is entirely correct, and there's no need to feel sorry about anything. The only thing that I will add here is that we have at least stipulated that we won't do unnecessary harm. So it is entirely possible to talk to these people and get them to surrender instead of harming them. Would that change your mind at all?
Not if they were good people. Like, his tree is really nice. And so if the Lord of the Trees is like trees, I wouldn't want to take his land away.
Well, if you ask me, he's more of a stick in the mud.
Well, can you tell me about the others?
I'm afraid I don't know the others too well, and I think that maybe we've pressed Mr. Arana's patience here a bit further than we should, as far as asking for more info on the others. And I suppose a biased view ain't necessarily the right one either.
Oh,
I'll also point out, lad, that maybe, something to take into consideration too, and it's not about your worldview or whatnot. I think everything that you're saying is valid, but we did come here for a reason. The next thing we might have to do after this would be either A, going to find the elves and the green dragons, or B, trying to wander around unknown mountains for as long as we can to find these other dragons that we're hiding, or C, work with the resistance to try and strengthen the resistance in our own way and try some other roundabout method to find some unknown magic that can help us get rid of the enslavement on your people. And then, assuming we've done all of that without the help of our friend Lucy here and the assistance of both you and your brother being able to turn into a dragon once, then we still have to, assuming we're alive and have taken down the evil Red Bastion, go to your homeland and then help there, assuming your family is still alive. Sometimes there is a choice of morality when it comes to a big picture. You don't want to hurt people. None of us want to hurt people. But do you want freedom for your family? Do you want freedom for these other dragons? That's something you have to consider too. And the option is here right now. And as our good friend Tree says, perhaps we are pressing Mr. Aranis' patience a bit much at this point in time. So
I know. I didn't. Well, I didn't know there was going to be a deal like this. I wish we could have had this first. But I get what you're saying. But as you said, we have other options. And I kind of feel like if I take these land from people who are good people, I'm just as bad as other people who do bad things. And I don't want to be like that. I want to be, or try to be good. I'm not good all the time, but I try. And so I think that if I try to take land from someone who are good people, that makes me a bad person. And I don't want to be bad like that. So I think we can still do it. We can still talk to the others. I know it's going to be more difficult and harder, but I just want to feel like I'm a good person at the end. Yeah, I don't know if I can if I take land away from people who are good people.
Aranis, I believe our young friend here has made his mind up, so unless there is a way that we can perhaps meet with these other folks first, which I imagine is probably not likely, unless you feel it is, then
this will not be possible. I believe I have my answer. He disappears.
are we still in the Feywild? Because he promised to take us back.
No. The world looks like it's slowly melting away around you. Like, from the top, the tree starts, like, melting.
Bye, Lucy. I'm sorry.
Such a strange place to be. Okay. I do apologize. I suppose we shall just need to decide what our next actions will be.
I didn't mean to take stuff away from you. I didn't. It seems like you really like the guy, Achilles, so I'm sorry about that.
And as the world finishes melting away from you, you all feel spear points at your back. A great draconic roar echoes around you inside of a grove of trees. And an elvish voice feminine, says, "And could I ask what you're doing here?" And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of It's Our World.
Wow. Wow. What an episode. What an episode. Well,
I'm never ready to stop.
What a roller coaster. What a roller coaster. Wow. Well, okay. Because I have to do the shenanigans at the end. Once again, thank you all so much for coming by to this episode. Again, if you like what you see here and you like to talk about what you saw in Discord, we have a Discord link, which I'll place in chat below. Again, we have non-spoiler as well as a spoiler section. Fan art, in case you would like to do fan art. And of course, the players here are always down to talk about the campaign. We will again have our next stream coming up this Tuesday for Riverwood Academy. And then we'll be back again for next week for It's Our World. So once again, thank you all so much for coming by. In case you missed some of the stream, we will be having our VODs released on YouTube this upcoming Wednesday. The VODs do have a higher quality content because recording actually has higher quality than the encoding in Twitch. So if you'd like to wait for that content, once again, it will be released on this Wednesday. If you're able to look at it, you like to enjoy it, go ahead and give it a like, a subscribe, and a follow. All of those things means a lot, especially when it comes to the algorithm. And of course, once we get to 100 subscribers, then we can get that nice, beautiful custom URL and have that beautiful It's Our World as the URL purpose. So, once again, thank you all so much for coming by. We definitely appreciate it and look forward to see you all next week for our next episode. Take care for now.